of Numbers. Matot and Maseh. Matot means tribes. And the Torah portion starts with Moses telling the tribe leaders that he's going to teach them the laws of what happens if somebody takes a vow and they want to break the vow that they might have taken. It's very interesting. He starts off with the words that it says, Lo yachel devaro, if somebody says something, they should not desecrate their words. Kechol hayotze mipiv ya'aseh. Everything that they utter, any words that come out of their mouth, they should do. They have to keep their words, which is a fascinating verse within its own. He's telling us like this: if somebody says something, they should not desecrate what they say. You must keep your words. But I want to explain the significance of these words by explaining why does Moshe call the tribe leaders or the tribes with the word matot or mateh in the singular, which is interesting that there's two names that Moses calls the tribes in the Torah. Generally, they are called shevet or shevatim in the plural. What does it mean, a mateh or a shevet? They actually both mean the same exact thing. It means a staff, a branch of a tree. Now, there are two kinds of tree branches. One branch of a tree is while the tree or the piece of wood is still freshly cut from the tree, and the other one is while it's dried out. In other words, it came off from the tree a while ago. The difference between a freshly cut piece of wood and one that is dried out, something that was cut off a while ago, is very simple. We all know this, that if you take a branch that just came off the tree, is very flexible, it's still pretty moist, and it's very easily, bendable. On the other hand, a piece of wood that's dried out, it's old, it's not fresh anymore, it's inflexible, you cannot bend it easily. And this is a lesson for us in life. When we are connected to the source, when we are at least close to the source, just came off the tree, then we are still flexible, we are still easy to get along with each other. But when we are far from the source, when we're no longer connected to our original base, where we originally came from, we become unflexible. And the Torah is teaching us a fascinating lesson. When we are relaxed, when we are close to our source, when we know who we are, when we as a person are connected to the true self, to who we are, then we become very flexible. We are easy to get along with. But when we lose ourselves, when we become, like the expression is, disconnected or unhinged, when we become far from the true self, we say things that we don't want to say. If you ever saw somebody get angry, they start losing their temper. What happens? They start cursing. They start saying, I swear this, I swear that, I promise this, I promise that, I'll never talk to you again in my life. They start saying things that are crazy. And what happens later? They regret what they've said. And the Torah tells us, Lo yachal devaro. Lo yachal devaro. Don't say things that you're going to regret later, because you should not desecrate your words. Whatever you say, you're going to have to keep. There's no such a thing for you to become a mata. Don't become a dried out stick. Don't become an unflexible person. Because if you do so, you're going to have to regret what you said, and you have to break that vow. And that is why every Yom Kippur we have something called the Kol Nidre. Kol Nidre is a service that we say, that we take apart, to get rid of our vows. And this is what happens. And of course, obviously, we look forward to a normal Kol Nidre this year. Hopefully, we'll be able to have such a kind of service. But the Torah tells us of how to get rid of the vows. We go to a court or to a few people, the rabbi, and so on and so forth, and we get rid of our vows. Obviously, we do it on Kol Nidre as well. But the point over here is I'm trying to tell you a very important message, is that this is the question of who we are as a person. Are we a mata? Are we a dried out stick? Are we a person that is disconnected to our source, or are we a shevet, a person that's always connected to our source, always flexible and easy to get along with? And the Torah is teaching us a fascinating lesson. We should always try to remain a person that's connected to our source, and then we won't have to be as careful with the words that we say. If we are separated from our source, separated, far away, disconnected, then how much more careful we have to be with the words that we say. Obviously, we always have to be careful, but it becomes easier when we are connected to our source. Shabbat Shalom. Let's always be joyous and happy and make it easier to be proud of the words that we say. Shabbat Shalom.